in Garden City, New York. I'm getting ready for my 2015 spring striped bass season. It's been a long winter. We're all patiently waiting for the first reports of striped bass to come down the coast. So if you're like me, you know that right away the stripers might not be as aggressive as they'll be later in the season, the month of May. So what I recommend first is to look in water depths of about 5 to 15 feet in your local bay, and keep in mind that the stripers might not be oriented to structure or big bait schools like they would be later in the season as the water temperatures get closer to 60 degrees. So what has proven to be the best success for me early in the season is trolling paddle tail shads. It's as simple as it gets, and it's a really effective method to find striped bass. So what I have here is a KastKing Phantom kayak rod. It's rated from 1/2 ounce to 1.5 ounces, and I've got a KastKing Orcus 3000 spinning reel with 30-pound KastKing braided line. After I run up my braided line through my guides, I connect the braided line directly to a 120 to 140-pound braided barrel swivel, and about anywhere from 3 to 5 feet of fluorocarbon leader directly to my jig head. This particular jig head is a 1-ounce Lunker City jig head, and this jig head will accommodate any soft plastic bait from about 3 to 5 inches appropriately. So these soft plastic baits are great to catch stripers anywhere from about 20 inches to 32 inches early in the season. I feel like the stripers prefer the artificial baits much better than the live baits early on. They're not ready to commit to something as big as a bunker or a herring just yet. So if you're on a kayak or a small boat, the most effective way to catch stripers right away is to try to troll 2 different water columns. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up both my rods to cover 2 sections of the water column. If I'm on a Hobie, or if I'm on some sort of boat that has an engine, good chance I'll have a horizontal rod holder available, or on a paddle kayak too. You can either hold it while you're trolling, or you put it in the rod holder. The horizontal rod is going to actually have your bait down deeper because you have less line exposed up to the wind, and you'll sink deeper in the water column. So for example, on a fairly calm day, a 1-ounce lead head should be trolling from 5 to 10 feet down. I'll use a second setup. And this one I'm going to troll vertically in another rod holder. This one is probably going to get down just to about 5 feet of water. This way I'm covering up to 10 feet of the water column to locate the stripers and also to find out where they're feeding in the water column, because it can vary day to day, especially early in the season. If it's a little bit more rough out, typically you might find the stripers feeding down deep more. On a calmer day, you might find them towards the top of the water column. That's your preference. How you want to find them, but that's the way I'd recommend it. Also, if you find the stripers towards the top of the water column and you don't want to troll anymore, it'll be a lot easier now that you've located them where they're feeding. You can cast to them. You can either use the swim shads you cast them with. I've also liked to use early in the season cotton cordell poppers are great to agitate them. These are really inexpensive poppers and they're extremely effective. If you found the stripers deeper, it might be a little bit of a rough day, you can either then use the same exact swim shad you troll them up with to vertically jig. You have a fish finder where you have an idea where you're hooked up with. You can try vertically jigging the area, just bouncing your lead head off the bottom slowly, and you'll hook up with stripers like that. So, if you have any questions or looking for any feedback on your techniques, please feel free to make a comment on my YouTube page, and I'm looking forward to having a great striper season.